The following may contain offensive language, adult humor, and or content that some viewers may find offensive. The views and opinions expressed by any one speaker does not explicitly or necessarily reflect or represent those of Mark Radulich or W2M Network. Please listen with caution, or don't listen at all.
Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo. What is happening here?
It is a very nice, very evil podcast, apparently.
Oh, was that Dan?
I finally got my Danhausen. I finally got my Danhausen figure.
Hey, you know what? I'm not, I am in an empty house tonight. It's just me. There's no girlfriend. There's no kid. So, Danhausen!
Danhausen! Ah! So, you know what the thing is it actually comes with the curse fingers, and if I'd have been thinking about it, I would have put the curse hands on him so that way he could have been cursing you as we went live on the podcast.
I mean, when aren't you cursing me, big sexy Harry Broadhurst?
Would you rather be working with Robert Winfrey, Mark Radulich?
I would always be rather working with Robert Winfrey. Don't bully my friend.
Oh, oof. That did not go the way I anticipated it.
He is my friend, and I love him.
Are you legally contracted to say that?
I mean, I'm not saying that this isn't. This is the second time I fucked that joke up. It's not Munchausen by proxy. It's Stockholm syndrome. I'm not saying I'm not affected by I'm not saying I'm not affected by Stockholm syndrome. I'm just saying I love him, Harry Broadhurst.
Blink twice if you need me to send help. No, shout out.
Blink once for no, twice for yes. A lot of yeses.
Shout out to Robert Winfrey. Go ahead and check him out over on 411 Mania. He actually just covered WrestlePalooza. And speaking of WrestlePalooza, segue!
Very nice. Yes, tonight we're going to talk WrestlePalooza. We are not going to talk All Out because neither one of us saw it. I was watching the Oklahoma. Oh gosh, who'd they play? Auburn. Yeah, I had to get my son. Easy for me to say. I had to get my son from his birthday party. He wasn't having a birthday party. He was attending one.
Right.
I was doing TikToks at the bar, Harry Broadhurst. Yes, because I am like Hemingway, and I do my best writing while at a bar, drinking a soda and eating a cheeseburger at a main event. Anyway, much like Hemingway. Anyway, so as I was TikToking at the bar, my son was at his friend's birthday party, which meant that I was not home at the start of All Out, and I did not feel like starting it over from whenever it was I did get home, which then would have made me run behind for WrestlePalooza. And I, social media maven that I am, was TikTok live for WrestlePalooza for the entirety of the event. Therefore, Harry Broadhurst, I could not watch All Out.
I had a group of people over for WrestlePalooza because apparently when WWE switches to ESPN and starts charging you $30 a month for a pay-per-view, people stop wanting to watch the pay-per-views alone and start wanting to go to the friend's house who's actually going to pay for the shit like a sucker.
Yeah, I don't know. I know I have ESPN. I might have it through my cable bundle. I might not. I don't remember anymore.
What is your cable bundle?
Well, I know I have Disney Plus, and I have Hulu, and I have ESPN through my Disney Plus account. But I feel like I have Disney Plus now through Spectrum.
I believe Spectrum is one of the included services. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like when I left my ex-wife's home, and I had to restart Spectrum at the new house, I was given a whole bunch of like free shit. And I feel like Disney Plus was one of them. So I'm pretty sure I have ESPN through that.
Well, yeah, then all you have to do is just go on to like the Spectrum website, authenticate your account, and you're able to get it. They're supposed to be working out a deal with YouTube TV here soon enough. And if that happens, then I will be very grateful to not have to spend the $30 a month or whatever it is on
right. I think that's my point.
ESPN
I don't think I'm paying this astronomical fee for ESPN. So
well, I already had the grandfather bundle tier, so I have the Hulu, Disney, and ESPN Plus for like $22 a month, I think it was.
Right.
I upgraded to the ad-free version of all three, and it was like $38. It charged me like $11 on Sunday, and then my bill goes up by like $14 a month, and I'm not terribly upset about that.
On the other hand, I might be paying twice for HBO Max. Because I feel like I got that as part of my bundle too, but because I got lazy one day watching The West Wing, I'm now paying for Hulu with HBO Max Plus. And I'm not saying that I'm a bright human being. I'm just saying I'm lazy and I needed to watch The West Wing easily.
I will say Martin Sheen was fantastic on that show.
He really was. He really was. And we reviewed it the entirety of the first half of this year on TV Party Tonight with Jesse Starcher and some other jabrones. All right. We are going to talk WrestlePalooza, which took place at a baseball field. I believe
it was at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis.
That's the one.
Petco Park is Survivor Series.
Wait, so was this the football stadium?
Basketball, home of the Pacers.
So it was an arena?
Yes.
Okay. I can't keep track of all the fucking buildings anymore, Harry.
I'm aware. It's hard enough for me to do so as well, and I actually used to know all of them by heart.
Okay, the game... No, see, here's my problem with this. Why are we calling arenas field houses? Shouldn't a field house be a baseball fucking field? Or a football stadium? It's a field! It's a field, Harry Brothers! You don't play basketball on a field!
Mark Radulich of the Screaming Boy Network, apparently, over there.
I will scream when things don't make sense.
Then get ready for Americanrana. Anywho.
There was a lot of nonsense and I barely paid attention to it.
We'll talk about some of the higher points, but there were definitely some lower points on that show as well. But anyways, going back to WrestlePalooza. Speaking of things that don't make sense, this opener kind of pissed me off.
Well, so yeah, let's get into this. The opening match was Brock Lesnar defeating John Cena in 8 minutes and 50 seconds. And I have a few things I need to say. First of all, Brock Lesnar is still my favorite wrestler of all time besides the Ultimate Warrior and Goldberg. I'm not saying I have good taste in wrestling, just taste. However,
or good taste in human beings for that matter.
Don't you judge me, Harry Broadhurst. Listen, I love Brock Lesnar. I have seen Brock Lesnar do Brock Lesnar-y things before. Mm-hmm. He's already done the bit where he treated John Cena like a baby seal and threw him hither and yon, and then took him to Suplex City for and then that was a whole thing for the next year. So I was a little confused. Yes. So I was a little confused by this match because again, John Cena is a former world heavyweight champion, has had some very successful long runs with the championship, and beats most people. LOL, Cena wins. But he gets in there with Brock, who's already done the bit where he beat John Cena to death. So if you're going to do the thing, A, why did you kick the night off with this? B, why was there no follow-up? If one more fucking person tells me that they're going to face off at Survivor Series on different teams, I'm going to bite them. Okay. I get it. But that's exactly my point. There's no connective tissue from the way they conducted and ended that match to what everyone is telling me is the obvious endpoint at Survivor Series.
There is no obvious endpoint at Survivor Series because it's not happening. They're not going to be on opposite sides there. It was a one-off. Cena wanted to wrestle Brock one more time on his way out.
So then why not have Brock put Cena over? That's stupid.
Because Brock will be staying around, ideally, and putting over stars that need the rub from him, i.e. somebody like a Gunther, who we've been speculating that Brock's going to face at Mania for 4 years fucking running now.
Slow down. Go back. Put your hands on your hips. Now do a pelvic thrust. I keep hearing that Brock is going to join, and as Robert Winfrey likes to call them, the Seth Riders.
The Vision.
The Seth Riders. Robert Winfrey called them the Seth
I
Riders.
get it.
Seth Riders.
I get it.
So if Brock Lesnar is not joining the Seth Riders versus Cody and John Cena and company at Survivor Series, then what is Brock Lesnar doing?
At Survivor Series, nothing. Where
do you hear these lies and propaganda?
I don't think Lesnar's going to end up involved at Survivor Series. I don't think.
The rumor is that he's going to join the Seth Riders.
Well, you got to think with him attacking the referee after the match, and then who was it that he fucking attacked as well? Corey Graves on SmackDown. There, you got to think that that's probably going to lead to them writing him off, and probably until Rumble.
This is both gay and queer. I'm going to tell you that right now. This whole business.
No offense to our people who are listening that are either of those things.
I'm not even talking about those people. Listen to me. This match bothered me. Like, I kind of laughed while I was watching it, but that's because I expected him to come out and fuck Cody up. I expected him to insert himself in some way somewhere else. I mean, what you're telling me is
you expected there to be a follow-up from it immediately, and then there wasn't one, and you were left wondering what the fuck, like most of the rest of the fan base.
But I could have lived with no follow-up had one of two things happened. John Cena won and gotten some offense in. Or if have them have a back and forth match, and and Brock Lesnar barely gets out of there by the skin of his teeth, and then here's the thing. Let me explain something to you. Let me explain writing to you. Brock Lesnar, listen to me now. Come to Mark Radlich's creative writing class. Brock Lesnar.
I've been writing my own wrestling show since I was 16. I think I know what I'm doing. Go ahead.
Brock Lesnar beat the fuck out of John Cena. And then he beat him. And then he left. For him to come back and beat up the referee, there was no reason for it. He wasn't agitated. He didn't lose. He wasn't freaking out. There's no logical reason for competitor and former UFC heavyweight champion Brock Lesnar to have done what he did.
The logic is they're going to use it as the way to write Lesnar off again until Rumble.
I hear you, but you're talking about like insider logic, and I'm saying there's no character logic. From a persona standpoint, it makes zero fucking sense. But in fairness, most things with Lesnar don't. From a character standpoint, it made zero sense. From an in-match, look, never mind that. It made no sense in the context of the match itself. He won. You don't beat a guy that, and it's like, and it wasn't even close. John Cena barely got any offense, which I would have been fine with again had it led to anything. But it was like, okay, Brock's here. I was joking about this with Ronnie. Could you imagine what that fucking match meeting was like? All right, so what are we doing tonight, Brock? Well, I'm gonna F5 you and suplex you a whole bunch for about 8 minutes, and you're just gonna take it. Okay. Well, what if I get in a 5-knuckle? No 5-knuckle shuffle. Okay. Well,
there were a couple FUs.
There were. And can we talk about that for a minute? Since you brought it up, since you interrupted me, I want to bring this up right now. When did the FU and the AA become the same fucking move? These two late. No. Brock Lesnar used to have you on his shoulder, swing you around the earth, and then drop you.
You mean the way that Lesnar executed I don't think it was so much the way that Lesnar executed. I think it was the way that Cena takes the F5 is my problem with that.
Terrible. And it did. They kept giving each other fucking attitude adjusters.
Because I remember watching with the group of friends that I usually watch with, and I think my comment was Rudy Charles took that bump better than Cena did. Or Dan Angler, or whatever they call him in WWE. Well,
it goes to the aesthetic of the match for me, and I'm really making a big deal about this because, like, this really took away my enjoyment of it. And again, I love everything Brock Lesnar. My girlfriend referred to him as my hall pass, and she's not wrong. I would let that man do things to me, terrible things, satanic things, things on a farm, Harry.
Nope.
I would let that man do things to me.
Nope.
And yet
because there's a Vince McMahon joke there somewhere I'm not going to make.
My point is, if I could stop being silly for a moment,
Please do.
They kept doing the same move to each other practically because Brock Lesnar stopped doing the F5 and correctly.
And so
then he beats the piss out of John Cena, and then he beats the piss out of the referee. Then he beats the piss out of John Cena some more, and then he leaves. Like, if you're gonna do that, the locker room should have cleared and dragged Brock Lesnar away. Like, I don't know why he snapped. I don't know why nothing was done about it. Like, there were so many logical. Like, I'm not like the world's biggest fan of the idiots on the internet going plot twist, plot hole. But here, there's such gaping gaps in logic that it really does ruin the entire viewing experience. All right, I'm done now. I'm done.
You gave farm
animals.
You gave far more thought to that whole match than I did because I didn't pay a single damn bit of attention to most of it.
I'm sorry you're racist against Brock Lesnar, but some of us here are Americans.
He lives in Canada.
Well, wouldn't you if...
Oh, Canada. Our home.
Sorry.
Somewhere Lance Storm is smiling.
Yes, and Andrew Graham is holding his head.
So my thing with Cena is I think that this is a match that there's talk that this is a match that Cena didn't fully endorse happening, and that's kind of why it got kind of so half-assed. Because he's kind of backhandedly talked about the fact that it wasn't his decision for this match to happen.
I thought you just said that 5 minutes ago, before my rant started, that he wanted to wrestle Brock again.
That was the word that Triple H had put out. Cena's kind of contradicted that in the build to this. However, that could be Cena trying to save face. That could be setting up for something down the road. Use your judgment.
Okay.
I think Cena wanted to focus on wrestling people that he has more of a modern history with, or people that he has something that he can do in order to elevate them. Because one of the things that Cena doesn't need to be doing on this retirement tour is winning a ton. I understand why he beat Logan Paul at whatever the last fucking pay-per-view was. I don't even remember the name. I'm drawing a blank on it. But whatever the last pay-per-view was, I understand the Saudi Arabian show that had like King and Queen of the Ring.
King of the Ring?
Is that what it was called? No, that wasn't what it was called.
Ugh. Keep going. I'm sure it was called the San Diego Fieldhouse.
In Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Anywho. The point being is that I understand why Cena went over in that match. I don't think he should have. I think Logan could have used that win there. But if you have Logan win that match, then you make Cena look like a bitch after having Logan dominate the build-up for the last 2 weeks of the show. I think that Cena should be focusing, and my idea, my booking shoes here would be to put Cena into matches with people that could use the match with Cena in order to help get them to that next level. Logan was an excellent example. Dominic Mysterio would be a fantastic choice for a match with Cena.
Night of Champions, by the way.
Thank you. Bron Breakker would be an excellent choice for a match with Cena on his way out. Cena's apparently petitioning for a match with AJ Styles on his way out. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I kind of hope that happens in Australia at Crown
Yes, you definitely want to put the young up-and-comer AJ Styles in his soccer mom hair.
So AJ's the exception to my statement here just because they had such amazing chemistry in the 3 matches that they did have.
You know who he should put over? That whippersnapper that's doing really well in the Shield right now, Roman Reigns.
I wouldn't mind seeing them run back Cena Rollins one last time.
Whatever.
All right, next match.
I could just spend the whole hour.
Go back to your Wikipedia window.
I could spend the entire hour just talking about fucking Brock Lesnar and John
Which
Cena.
is why we're moving on, because we have other things to get to.
And on just under 20 minutes, the vision of Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker defeated the Usos with LA Knight as a special guest referee.
Do you see Jay bust himself open with a chair shot?
Yeah, he got color.
Accidental color. He got hard-weighed.
Did he?
Yeah.
I thought this match was okay. There was obviously a lot of gimmickry with LA Knight there. I like, LA Knight as like the referee who's just basically letting this be a tornado tag because he doesn't give a fuck.
Which is ironic because this next Monday, as we record this on Wednesday night, this next Monday on Raw, it will be a tornado tag rematch.
Lovely. So it would be no different than what we just saw at Wrestle. I hate when they do this. We used to talk about this. Do you remember Harry Broadhurst of the Screaming Boy podcast, where they would do a match at the pay-per-view and then do the rematch on Raw, to where you were like, why did we even bother watching the pay-per-view then?
Like, why did we pay to see this match when we're just going to get it for free a day or 7 days later? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big thing for a while.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't happen as often nowadays, but I think this is one of those ones where you can do this match without LA Knight's involvement and give the Usos their win back. I don't think the Usos need the win back. I think Braun and Bronson could use a good tag win. And honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to Braun and Bronson going after the Raw tag titles, which are held
I don't know
by...
why they should, once they had matching jackets, like they were, in a gang or something, they should have been given the tag team titles.
Like, what are Finn and JD doing with the belts other than trying to help Dominic with Rusev?
Yeah, agreed.
Match was okay. Like I said, Jay got color hard way because he apparently doesn't know how to throw a chair shot. It whiplashed and hit himself in the forehead with it, busted the side of his eye wide open. He was pissing blood for a little bit there. But I agree with the decision to put Braun and Bronson over here. I think they needed to win more.
Oh, I agree. And I think they should be tag team champions, and they should start painting their faces and wear shoulder pads with spikes.
What a rush!
Well, all right. And now let's talk about the single greatest match on the entire card. A candidate for match of the year. Stephanie Vader defeated Iyo SKY in 20 minutes and 11 seconds to win the Women's World Championship. Everybody gushed about this. I have to start muting my group chat with all my friends, my podcast people in it, because when wrestling's on, I will get incessant messages while I'm trying to do things like TikTok Live, or while I'm in a podcast, or while I'm banging, like whatever, while I'm naked swimming. Stop bothering me, people. Stop bothering me. I have no time for.
Why am I not in any of these group chats? Rude.
I don't know. I maybe invited you. Who knows?
I doubt it.
Do you want to be included in our reindeer games?
Yes.
Fine. I will put you in the group chat.
Thank you.
Pack and yell at you directly. So
What
anyway,
else would be different?
So Pat was gushing about this match, as was everybody else on the internet. This was by far the single best match on the card, and probably a match of the year candidate. Stephanie Vader. I'm going to go ahead and say a bold, not bold statement right now.
The Women's Wrestler of the Year for 2025.
Stephanie Vader is the best modern women's wrestler right now. Of her contemporaries, of women 20 to 40, of women 20 to 40.
Okay,
currently wrestling. I think she is currently the best.
I will disagree with you, if only for one exception here, and I think
Charlotte Flair. I'm going to scream.
Rhea. And the reason I say Rhea is because Rhea has more connectivity with people than Stephanie does, and I think the problem for Stephanie is the barrier with her English, with English not being her first language. If Stephanie was able to cut a more coherent promo, I think Stephanie would blow by Rhea in terms of popularity. But the fact that a lot of fans have a hard time understanding Stephanie doesn't help her case in terms of connectivity.
Okay, I will cede your point. They are a hair's breadth away from each other.
I will agree with that.
If Stephanie Vader can up her promo game the way that you're suggesting,
yes,
then she's better than Rhea Ripley, and I think by leagues, quite frankly.
Oh, in the ring, it's not even close. Stephanie's a way better wrestler.
Right. I think what you're talking about that makes
that complete package
is, yeah. And so I can kind of see where, like, these individual things are better than Rhea Ripley, but in this one thing that kind of boosts the entire average up for Rhea, that makes her just above Stephanie Vader. But I'm telling you right now, give Stephanie Vader some English lessons and have her get punched in the face on SmackDown or something, and let her call herself the man for a while. I guarantee you, she's the next big star in wrestling for like the next 10 years.
Well, consider the Stephanie that we saw in AEW compared to the Stephanie we see now as well. It's night and day in those two differences.
Was she a dentist in AEW?
She was not, baby.
Oh, okay.
No, she did that one-off at one of the your Forbidden Door shows against Mercedes Moné.
I believe you.
It happened. You should.
Okay, I just don't remember.
And then the WWE saw her, found out she wasn't under contract, and was like, yoink.
Wink. Good. Yeah, it was a really amazing match. Like, and Iyo SKY is no.
Can we talk about Iyo? Iyo might be the best bell-to-bell wrestler in the world, period.
Yeah, I don't want to fight you on that. I think Iyo. I think what's held Iyo back is, one, the language barrier, two, her,
I think the problem for Iyo is Iyo follows up maybe the most arguably dominant Japanese women's champion of all time in Asuka.
Yeah, she had a hard time breaking out. First of all,
Asuka's shadow.
She existed at a time where there was just like a slew of Japanese women of various shapes and sizes on the American scene. And so she just gets kind of lumped in there as one of them. But Iyo SKY stands apart from a lot of them, maybe with the exception of Asuka.
And I think that's the problem for her. She exists in the same WWE timeline as Asuka does. And a lot of what Iyo does, Asuka does. And a lot of what Iyo does, Asuka does better.
Right.
When Asuka's head is fully in the game. Obviously, Asuka had to take an extended time off because of a knee injury. And then she also had that stalking issue that came out a while back as well, too. So she was taken off of TV for protective measures. But when Asuka is in her flow, and we kind of saw it on Raw the next night, I don't know if you had a chance to watch Raw, Asuka finally turned heel on Iyo.
Did not see it.
Okay, so Asuka finally turned heel on Iyo.
I was watching the Lions in a game of pinch and tickle with the Ravens.
Well, I watched the second half of that because Raw ended at like 9:30, and it was fantastic.
What, fucking an hour and a half now?
No, started at 7 o'clock.
Well, they're just starting whatever the local time is, huh?
No, they're starting at 7 o'clock in order to beat the start of Monday Night Football and try to get the people.
Oh, did they permanently move to 7?
At least it's a temporary trial for now to see if it helps with the ratings against Monday Night Football, and especially since I don't know if you've seen all the Monday Night Football games this year are being simulcast unless they're double headers. So if there isn't a double header, the Monday Night Football games are simulcast on ESPN and ABC. So that's a national audience that can tune into that Monday Night Football game that might be regularly watching Raw on Netflix that can now get Monday Night Football on a local channel.
Did you know, Harry Broadhurst, you've never been able to watch all the NFL at once on your regular television? Did you know that? Because everyone on TikTok today is complaining that it's harder than ever to watch football. It's not. It's actually easier than ever to watch football. It's just the places where it's being distributed is changing, but it's easier than ever to watch more of the games than it ever has been. And people complaining about this don't know what they're talking about. And I know this because I wrote about it and I put it on TikTok today. I'm fancy.
Follow him on TikTok.
You really should. I'm a genius.
I'm not on TikTok, so you can't follow me there.
Ugh. Get with the times, Harry Broadhurst. Let's talk about this soap opera that they're calling a wrestling match. CM Punk and AJ Klutz versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch.
Her first match in a decade. Let's cut her some slack.
Absolutely not. Let me tell you how this was like. This reminded me of Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff. It was that level.
So which one of them is the race? Never mind.
AJ Lee is clearly Mr. T in this analogy.
I was wondering which one was the racist. Would that make Punk the racist?
I don't understand why you're a racist. Listen, this was so chock full of like
it was a mess
and psychology, but it was like ring psychology without it necessarily being wrestling psychology, because the moves were just kind of blah. But it was everything. It was okay. There was a joke by a comedian about the way when you have an aging dancer like Jennifer Lopez, you just have everyone dance around her and it makes it look like she's moving. And that's what they did with AJ Lee, where they just had Punk, Rollins, and Becky all just kind of wrestling around AJ, and it made it look like she was wrestling. They held her off so long, trying to get that fever pitch up, to get everyone to come in their pants when she finally made contact with Becky Lynch, to the point where by the time it actually happened, it was like whatever. And then instead of just giving everybody a bit of AJ Lee, which is all you needed to do, you didn't need her to have her wrestle another fucking 10 minutes. they, as per usual, like an autistic, they just let it go. They couldn't stop themselves, and it exposed her for being really rusty. My God.
Well, you think it's bad in a tag match? Wait till she has her singles match against Becky at Survivor Series.
Oh my God! Not since Shotzi Blackheart have I seen anyone this close.
And you wanted to do a Shotzi Blackheart show next.
I wanted to do something close to Halloween, psycho.
Anything Shotzi Blackheart, I'm against. Now, if
Really?
Scarlett was on that show, I would be okay with it. And they are kind of like best friends
Stick to
forever.
the topic at hand, psycho.
Okay. This wasn't a wrestling match. It was a spectacle. And I think if you consider it as such, then it was acceptable for what it was.
Okay. You know me. I am Mr. Spectacle. This went on too long.
I'll agree with that.
They gave AJ too much.
I don't agree with that.
She looked terrible. She'd have looked less terrible if they had given her less.
Well, the problem is a lot of the people that were in that building for this particular match were there not to see Seth, not to see Becky, not to see Punk. They were there to see AJ.
Brock Lesnar.
No, nobody was there to see Lesnar.
I was there to see Brock Lesnar. People.
You weren't there.
I was there in spirit. I was there in TikTok.
You were there in TikTok.
Listen, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is you got to leave the people wanting more. By the time we were done with that, the people had an 8-gallon fucking ice cream and they were throwing up all over each other.
I don't disagree that the match went too long. It absolutely did. I think I saw the final runtime at like 29 minutes, which was about 5 to 10 minutes longer than it should have been. The problem is when you have...
Yeah, 29 minutes and 18 seconds.
The problem is...
30 fucking minutes for this nightmare?
What the problem is when you only have 5 match cards like we're getting now, everything's running 15, 20, 25 minutes, and not everything needs to do that.
Don't make the first match take an hour. How about that? And this is the second time in a row I've watched one of these stupid things where the first match went from the opening of the show all the way to the end of the first hour. The match itself was less than 10 minutes. But the opening segment, because we had to kill a referee and a child and a goat and set off missiles.
And Triple H had to cut a promo because we're on ESPN now.
So it was an hour into the show before we got to the Usos. Stop texting people.
I'm not texting. I'm playing with my fidget spinner.
Okay.
My autism is at work. No, that's legit. I'm medically diagnosed.
No, I understand that. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up so I stop overwhelming you. What did you think of this match?
Like I said, I thought the match was okay if you look at it through the eyes of a spectacle, because it wasn't really a wrestling match in the common sense of the term. I think that the people, like I said, were there to see AJ, there to see AJ's return. Do I think that they tried to do a little bit more than AJ was maybe capable of in her first time inside of a ring in 10 years? Yeah, obviously. But there were other times where she looked like the AJ Lee of old as well. And then I thought that table bump that they did, the spot where Seth threw AJ into Punk and Punk went through the table.
I laughed my fucking ass off at that. I was hooting.
The best part of that was seeing little AJ bounce when the table collapses, like as she lands and she like ricochets. I say this as nicely as I can, AJ. Eat a goddamn sandwich.
Yeah, she needed to maybe hit the gym and put some muscle on.
Like, I'm genuinely worried about somebody her size wrestling on a regular basis, because I know the toll that the bumps and the grind of the business take on somebody. Mm-hmm. And this is a quick way to get fucked up.
Yeah, she went full time. She fucking injured herself. But all right, let's finish this up so we can get to Americanrana. Cody Rhodes defeated Drew McIntyre by pinfall. 17 minutes, 17 seconds. This was as ho-hum as ho-hum gets.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that they decided to go with the quick and easy Cody retains here. I thought for sure Drew was taking the belt here. You would think that they would have wanted something big to come out of the WrestlePalooza pay-per-view, and instead it was just Drew goes for an announce table kick. Drew misses. Drew apparently fucks up foot. Cody hits crossroads. Cody gets pinfall.
Yeah, to me, this was a lot of nothing. And I think everyone was expecting something to happen.
Agreed.
And nothing did. And everyone was like, huh. It was a very kind of meh ending.
So the rumor that I had read, and I don't know if you saw this as well, but the rumor that I had read is that the original plan was for Randy Orton to be involved in the finish and to accidentally cost Cody the title. Is that something that you would have been interested in?
One more time, because I wasn't listening.
Thanks.
Sorry, I got distracted.
You need a fidget spinner.
No, I was looking to see what the next show was. It's the NXT show this Saturday.
All right. So what I was saying was the original rumor that I had heard was that Orton gets involved, and because Drew goes for something, Orton gets involved, and then Orton ends up accidentally costing Cody the match and the title, and then ends up feuding with Drew, and then Cody by proxy
and
afterward.
Put the belt on fucking Drew?
Yes.
Ugh. Cody just got the belt back, didn't he?
SummerSlam.
It was August. It's September.
I don't disagree.
I think so. I think because it was a normal match, I think if Orton had caused Cody to lose by DQ, that would have been acceptable.
The last pay-per-view was Clash in Paris, by the way.
Which was also August.
Yes, that's the one I blanked on earlier.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it would have been fine. Anyway, I think everyone was expecting Brock to come back out or for something to happen, and it was just like, hey, Cody wins. LOL.
Here's the problem with Brock getting involved. We've already seen Brock and Cody 4 times.
So
I have no interest in seeing it again.
Well, I can't help it. You don't have good taste, but everyone else loves Brock Lesnar and wants to see Brock Lesnar throw Cody around like a baby seal.
I was going to make a 50 Cent in the club joke, but I decided against it.
All right. So that was WrestlePalooza. Nobody gives a fuck. This Saturday.
Let me just say real quick, final thoughts here. Overall, I gave the show a 7.
Mm-hmm.
But that was more carried on the terms of the in-ring content rather than the overall presentation. The overall presentation of the show was closer to like a 4. And I think that that's becoming kind of the problem in the Triple H era of the WWE now, is that we're getting a lot of shows that feel very same-ish.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can do that now, especially if you're asking people to pay $30 a fucking month for your pay-per-views.
Bro, if it wasn't for the fact that we A, do this podcast, B, that I go TikTok live and do this stuff because I'm trying to get more followers. Follow me on TikTok and try to get me to 10,000 followers so I can actually make money at what I'm doing. I don't know if I'd watch. Like, they're not that interesting to me. I would watch like the big ones, like the Royal Rumble and Survivor Series. I don't know if I would watch the ones in between.
You really didn't miss a whole lot if you missed this show. The only thing you missed was an excellent performance by Stephanie and Iyo, but you could have announced Stephanie versus Iyo and known that was going to be a great fucking match.
Really quickly, this Saturday is NXT No Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
It will be on Netflix.
It will be on Netflix internationally. It will be on Peacock domestically.
So JC Jane with Fallon Henley will take on Lola Vice for the NXT Women's Championship. Sol Ruca with Zarya will take on Lainey Reed for the Women's Speed Championship. That makes no sense.
They moved the Speed titles to NXT because Speed got canceled on X.
Whoopee. Obafemi takes on Ricky Saints for the NXT Championship. Ethan Page takes on Tavion Heights for the North American Championship. Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe in a weaponized steel cage match. Oh, girl. Oh, I feel like fucking Jim Cornette. Oh, good. Girls are going to hit each other with nail spike bats. Terrific. And Javon Evans takes on Josh Briggs in a singles match. Everything's a fucking title match. Like, why are we doing just a regular singles? Why not,
because Dark State aren't defending the tag straps?
Just have, an exploding fucking barbed wire goldfish match.
All right, so predictions here. I think Sol Ruca retains against Lainey Reed, but I do think Lainey Reed gets her get back when she helps JC retain against Lola and joins Fatal Influence. I think Javon beats Briggs because Briggs won the match on TV in the build-up, so I think Javon gets his win back here. Mm-hmm. I think Ethan Page retains against Tavion Heights, even though I would not be surprised to see Ethan Page move up to the main roster because there's talk that Chelsea Green's been pushing for them to take their pairing to the main roster, and it would absolutely fucking work.
I thought Chelsea Green was with Zack Ryder.
In real life, yes.
Is she a dentist?
Baby. Maybe. No, she
maybe.
So what happened was Chelsea's down a person, and sincerely, I know I joke around a lot on this show. My best wishes to Piper Niven on a speedy recovery. Neck injuries are no joke. Sincerest hopes that everything works out okay and she's able.
Damage her neck.
The reports came out that it could be career threatening.
What did she do? Is what I'm asking.
I don't have the exact answer to that. I just know that she went for a exam from WW Medical, and she was deemed unfit to compete, now apparently she might be looking at neck surgery.
Oof, poor girl.
Get well soon, Piper. Best wishes to her. But if Piper and Alba Fire aren't going to be able to be associated with Chelsea, I think Ethan Page could be the thing that keeps Chelsea's act relevant on SmackDown. And then for the main event, I think it's time. I think Obafemi drops the title to Ricky Saints.
I think you're right. All right. Beyond Wrestling Americanrana took place Friday, August 29th, 2025 at a baseball stadium. No, at Rhodes on the Patuxent, Cranston, Rhode Island.
Pawtucket?
Patuxent.
Okay, it's Americanrana.
What'd I say?
Americanrana.
Yeah, that's American. Rana.
Americanrana. Anyways, this is one of Beyond Wrestling's marquee events every year. It's one of the reasons I wanted to cover it here. I did not realize when I said that I wanted to cover it that it was a 12-match, 4-hour fucking show.
I hate you every single time we have to do this show.
I did not realize how long this show was.
I try to put it on while I'm doing other stuff, and then I look at the time, and I'm just every time I curse your name. You wonder why I'm mean to you. This is why.
I mean, I don't blame you in this particular instance because I didn't realize it was going to be a 4-hour.
I'm just glad you didn't add another 4-hour show. Make me watch 8 hours of wrestling.
Hold on.
I have a job, Harry.
Hold on. Here's the better part. That was a 4-hour show with the edit. Could you imagine trying to watch this motherfucker live?
That motherfucker is still there in Patuxent.
Could you imagine trying to watch this shit live?
I would kill myself. I just fucking die.
So a couple of years ago, back when IWTV was a new thing, I actually tried to watch an Americanrana live. It was the Americanrana that had Joey Janela versus David Starr, whose name we don't talk about anymore, in a no-rope barbed wire match. And the feed was so dog shit on that show that I gave up 20 minutes into trying to watch it, saying, fuck this, I'm out.
Fair. All right. First match. Let's do this quickly, please.
Skip the pre-show.
Okay. So what am I starting with?
Well, we can discuss the one match on the pre-show, the main match on the pre-show, the 14 tag.
Okay. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to read the match, and you say skip.
Okay.
Jermaine Marbury defeated.
Didn't even make the video feed.
Mint, who I feel like got announced 27 times on this show, defeated Wrench and Resolve of Eric Chacha Giguria and Danny Zuko. Sorry, I went into grease mode. And Jay Gray.
Grease is the word. Grease is the word.
It's the word. It's the
feeling. So the only thing that really stood out about this match to me is its goal as a WWE ID talent prospect. He's interesting gimmick, like a human action figure kind of gimmick there. I seem to remember there's a girl that does porn as like a human Barbie. So, I mean, make of that what you will.
Super. But
other than that, the match was only like 4 minutes and didn't really mean anything.
Okay. Ray Jazz defeated Blackjack.
Jack Pasquale, Create a Pro kid. That's the school that's run by Brian Myers and Zach Ryder out of Create a Pro up in New York. Ray Jazz's brief run in TNA a couple of years ago when they tried to redo the FBI with Guido and I forget who the other one was. Might have been Stamboli, maybe. But he's like a Northeast wrestling veteran. Blackjack is a relative newcomer here. The match was brief. It was an opportunity to get both guys on the card in front of a crowd in order. Because the first hour of the show, or like the first 45 minutes or so on the video feed that I watched and that you watched, because we didn't watch it live, the first 45 minutes aired for free on YouTube in order to act as an advertisement to try to get people to sign up to watch the actual Americanrana show.
Dan Barry defeated Drew Gulak, and I was excited by this because I haven't seen Drew Gulak in an ill minute.
Respect to the gentleman, Dan Barry. Hopefully, I'm not sure if the retirement is legit or not. If it is, respect him. A longtime veteran of the independent area there, best known as part of Team Tremendous, which you may have heard of with him and Bill Carr.
What's the name of the wrestler who's like the stay-at-home dad or something like that?
Dan the Dad, Danny Adams.
Okay, different Dan. Got it.
Different Dan. Drew Gulak is Drew Gulak. and that's not necessarily a compliment or an insult. The problem is when Gulak isn't making waves for allegedly touching Ronda Rousey inappropriately, his wrestling matches are kind of nondescript most of the time. This one was no different. Nothing about this particular match stood out to me.
I like Drew Gulak.
I like him as...
It's a shame he allegedly touched Ronda Rousey inappropriately.
That's what got him fired from the WWE. And there were people that claimed that he went into business stretching people as well, and when he was in NXT as part of the no quarter.
God damn it! They just should have put the title on him. He'd have beat everybody.
I still need to read his book. I don't want to, but I should.
Star Trek, who is Anthony Green and Channing Thomas, defeated Rude and Lawless Residency, who is RJ Rude and Rex Lawless, with Nikki Robles. GBF, who is Aaron Rourke and Becca, and The Vibe, which is Sammy Diaz and Mary Arias.
Okay, how do you not have more to say about the GBFs?
Who were they again?
Rourke and Becca, the gay best friends.
Oh, that was fun.
Becca's the one that came out singing on Becca on God.
Oh, okay. So again, I was doing other stuff while this was on, and I think I had I think I was watching this while I was also watching the Auburn Oklahoma game. So my kid was in the living room at the time because we decided that everyone would be in the living room, even if they weren't necessarily. So I was watching all the stuff at my desk, and then my son commandeered my main television in the living room to play Xbox, and nobody was looking at what I was doing until the chick started singing, and everyone then started paying very close attention.
It'd be different if she could actually sing.
Well, I didn't have the sound on. That was the problem.
Okay, so then they didn't hear the worst of it. The thing is the crowd's really into the Becca act now, though, and it's crazy because this thing used to be like super heel back when it first started, and now like the crowds rally behind her and Rourke. Rourke, who is also our pictured guy, if you take our photos off of the screen real quick, the guy that's in the image on that you see on the screen behind us.
Yeah,
he's also a WWE ID talent.
Oh, cool. All right. Ryan Clancy defeated Timothy Thatcher. It was nice to see Timothy Thatcher again.
This was the first match of the main card, and I thought this match was really good. And Fancy Ryan Clancy is one of those success stories from Wrestling Open, which is the Beyond Wrestling weekly television show that airs on Thursdays on IWTV. Ryan Clancy, probably most famous for working with TJ Crawford, but he's come into his own as a singles wrestler over the course of the last 2 years.
Rainmaker. All right. Big business is TJ Crawford, Love Doug, and Julio Cruz and Victor Chase defeated Charles Mason, Stetson Ranch of Steve Stetson, Danny Miles, and Brian Morris. This was yet another one where I'm like, why are there 87 people in the ring?
So I like 3 people in this match. The problem is there were 8 people in it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
This is like the third or fourth, like, and in very quick succession, to where I stopped asking if there was any, because again, I was only half watching it. So I'm half watching this and I'm half watching football and half paying attention to my kids and girlfriend. And every time I look at the screen to watch the wrestling, 87 people are in the ring, but it's a different set of 87 people. It was very confusing, Harry. It was very confusing.
The people to keep an eye on in this particular match are the Silver Striker, TJ Crawford, Love Doug, who ended up getting the pinfall, and the root of all evil, Charles Mason, who we have talked about on this podcast before. I am a big fan of Charles Mason's work. I love his theme song. I love his presentation. It would not work in a major company, but as an independent act, it is fantastic.
BRG with Ox Adams defeated Angel Ortiz.
The Angel Ortiz from LAX, in case you were wondering.
Oh, that Angel Ortiz. Okay.
Yes. BRG, Brett Ryan Gosling, used to be a member of the Stetson Ranch, kind of broke out onto his own. It was nice to see the Funky Monkey, Angel Ortiz, back in action here. Rest in peace, Jaka. Unfortunate passing recently in the independent wrestling world. I don't know if you're familiar with the name.
Yes.
Used to be part of Team Pazuzu in Beyond Wrestling with Chris Dickinson.
I know Chris Dickinson. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, his tag team partner
passed
away from a heart attack like 2 weeks ago. Jonathan Echeverria, a.k.a. Jaka. So rest in peace, Jaka. But BRG versus Angel Ortiz. This show was before Jaka passed, I believe. But it was nice to see both Angel and his former tag team partner on the same show. And hopefully those two can end up working something out where they can mend fences for one last run as a tag team, because I do think that they are the best tag team in Beyond Wrestling history.
All right. Undisputed IWTV Independent Wrestling World Champion Marcus Mathers defeated Matt Cardona to retain the undisputed IWTV Independent Wrestling World Championship. Is Matt Cardona still running around collecting belts?
No, he's no longer the belt collector. He's now the complete Matt Cardona.
That sounds gay.
If he wasn't on this show.
Oh, rats.
Sorry. I thought this match was really good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Mathers is another WWE ID prospect. He's got a ton of talent, and he's super fucking young. He's like 23 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Cardona is one of those indie veteran hands that you can put in there with pretty much anybody and expect at least a decent match out of him and a performance where he's going to help establish whomever he's in the ring with as a bigger name just for being in the ring with Cardona.
Mm-hmm.
And this was no exception. It was a big win for Mathers as he retains the IWTV World title.
Mike Santana defeated DJ Powers with Giorgio Lawrence.
This match sucked. It was short, nothing happening. Santana won with spin the block. It was basically a squash.
Miracle Generation of Dustin Waller and Kylan King defeated Ichiban and Brando Lee.
Ichiban number 1. Miracle Generation is a team to keep an eye on. Dustin Waller is fantastic for a guy his size. Kylan King is improving. I would not say he's as developed as Dustin Waller is, but together as Miracle Generation, they are currently the best tag team in Beyond Wrestling, and that's a pretty loaded tag team division.
Chris Statlander, is she still an alien?
No.
Terrific.
Are you planning on watching All Out at any point?
What, the one from Toronto that already passed?
Yes.
No, never live in the past, Harry. Never live in the past. Always
Chris Statlander's the AEW Women's Champion now.
Oh, she beat Mercedes Moné?
She beat Toni Storm in the 4-way.
I don't know who has what belt.
Moné has the TNT title. She retained against Riho.
Riho's still wrestling and hasn't gone back to her adoptive parents?
I don't know why Riho's still a thing.
Okay.
We were talking about talented Japanese women earlier. Riho is not one of them.
So yes, Chris Statlander defeated Livia.
Yes. So the thing with Livia here is, and this is because everybody knows Chris Stat. If you're watching the show, you know who Chris Statlander is.
She's an alien.
At least she used to be. Livia is 19 years old.
Wow.
And for as young as she is coming along quite well. I would not be surprised to see her working for a major promotion sometime within the next 2 years.
Bear Bronson and Gabby Forza defeated
This match sucked.
And Shotzi Shotzi Klutzy Blackheart.
And Shotzi had a broken wrist.
Wonderful.
Coming into the match. Her arm was in the cast.
Mm-hmm.
Gabby I like Gabby's gimmick. Gabby has that gnome gimmick. I don't know how much of the match you actually paid attention to here. Mm-hmm. Gabby has that your homie the gnomey gimmick. It's silly, but it works for her. Bear Bronson used to be part of the tag team Bear Country with Bear Boulder until Bear Boulder
I remember that. I remember Bear Country from AEW.
Yes, and then Bear Boulder got outed as a domestic violence guy and got fired. So Bronson's been kind of working the independent scenes as a singles and now with his wife, Gabby Forza. And then I think Cruel might be the best unsigned talent in the country right now.
Yeah, I recognize Cruel. I know who Cruel is, and I'm wondering why Cruel isn't like a bigger name.
Well, my guess is it's because of the contractual choices that he's made in the past. The fact that he was signed with MLW and the whole MLW thing kind of blew up after a while there. I think Cruel has the potential to be something. I love the finish, Scorched Earth, which is that full Nelson face plant that he does. I'm a big fan of that move.
Is MLW still around?
Allegedly.
What happened to like the guy that I liked from there with the blonde hair and the rock and roll gimmick?
Alex Hammerstone?
That's the one.
I don't think he's currently working anywhere. I think he's out injured, if I'm not mistaken.
How is he not WWE champion?
He appeared on NXT for a while.
Did he?
Yeah, because he was in TNA for a bit, and he worked again. I think he had a match against Oba Femi in NXT. Actually,
Alex Hammerstone is like the best kept secret in wrestling. That guy should have all the belts.
You have a very specific type that you like, Mr. Rattledge.
Have you met my girlfriends?
I have not.
I absolutely have types.
I will believe it. But no, as far as the mixed tag goes, it only goes like 8 minutes, and it's not a great 8 minutes. I like Cruel. I have said multiple times before, I am not a huge fan of Shotzi Blackheart. I do not find her entertaining in the ring. She's a decent promo, but she's a subpar wrestler.
Yeah, very much so. The Wrestling Open Championship of Bobby Orlando defeated Bryce Donovan with Vinny Scalise to win the Wrestling Open Championship. God, we're done now.
Okay, so this match actually has quite the backstory behind it, and I'll take you through a little bit of it.
Okay.
Max Caster.
Yes.
AEW's Max Caster.
My favorite AEW wrestler ever.
He of the Acclaimed.
Yes.
When he broke into the business, he was part of a group known as the Shook Crew.
I know the Shook Crew. I've heard of the Shook Crew.
They were Max Caster, Bryce Donovan, and Bobby Orlando. So there's quite the backstory here. Bryce Donovan won the Wrestling Open Championship from Fancy Ryan Clancy. Mm-hmm. And in the process of winning the Wrestling Open Championship, aligned himself with Smart Mark Sterling, who is like big bad on the indies in terms of managers. He's the indie Paul Heyman, basically.
Okay.
So basically, Bryce Donovan turned his back on Bobby Orlando, who was his longtime tag team partner after they dropped the tag belts or the Eliminator Cup belts to the Stetson Ranch.
Yep.
So they had a Von Erich Memorial Tournament, which was a 6-man tag team tournament, where the winners of the tag team tournament, the winners of the Von Erich tournament, the tag team that was involved got a shot at the tag titles at Americanrana, and the heavyweight or the main event talent that was involved got a shot at the heavyweight title. You skipped over the tag team title match, which is at the start of the show, which was the Shooter Boys over Swipe Right.
Oh, yeah, I did skip that.
But and then Bobby Orlando, who was teaming with the Shooter Boys, ended up getting this shot against Bryce Donovan here. I thought this match was good. I thought it was a little long, maybe at 32 minutes, because I don't think most wrestling matches need to go 32 minutes, especially not in the year of our Lord 2025. But I do think that there was a hell of a backstory here, and they had a lot of really cool tie-ins with Vinny Scalise, who, do you remember the tag team Massage Envy?
No.
They were the group of guys that did the massages in the independents. It was VSK and Dorian Greaves.
Okay.
Vinny Scalise was VSK.
Ah, gotcha. All right. Well, that, folks, is our Indie Spotlight. Beyond Wrestling. This is not the first time you've made me watch a Beyond show, but it's always good.
For what you did watch of it.
For what I remember. In the month
I watched the show, guys.
In the month of October. Good for you, Harry. In the month of October, we've got...
He'll definitely pay attention to October's show.
Well, we've got Crown Jewel coming up on the 11th. What's on the 4th? Is anything on the 4th?
No.
Okay. UFC 320. That's what's on the 4th. On the 11th is Crown Jewel. On the 18th is Wrestle Dream. On the 12th is Bound for Glory. On the 25th is Halloween Havoc. And then we will be back on the 29th. We will be looking at TNT, Effie's Big Gay Brunch UK 3, and Game Changer Wrestling, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 15, which will be taking place also in London. So we're going to do a double shot of indie spotlights.
Basically GCW shows. I know it says TNT on the marquee, but it's basically a GCW show if it's a big gay brunch.
So I'm sure that'll be a fairly lengthy show because we'll have a lot to talk about for the month of October since we're going at the end.
I can promise that he will definitely pay attention to big gay brunch.
I will be pantsless and excited.
Which is no different than usual, to be fair.
All right. Speaking of pantsless and excited, tomorrow... Gavin Napier will be on the show. Mick will be here, Robert, and we're going to be doing another movie catch-up from earlier this year. We're looking at Drop, Echo, and Sinners. Finally got around to watching Sinners. It's everyone's favorite movie this year. I'm not entirely sure why.
Is that the one with Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld?
That's the one, yes. So
okay.
Earlier this week, Sunday, we did a Melhammer of Doom Jukebox. We reviewed Paradise Lost, and more importantly, I played my video for every Ira song ever, and it was a hoot. Myself, Robert, and Jason reviewed him.
That's the new Jordan Peele movie, right?
Yes, sir.
How was that?
I loved it. Apparently, it was not loved by Robert. This Saturday is a special episode of Damn You Hollywood, but Robert will not be on. Instead, my lovely girlfriend, she enjoyed herself so much on our on trial for Steel Magnolias, which was her decision, that I invited her back to do a movie I do not want to talk with Robert about. This is the biopic for the lady who invented Bumble, called Swiped. So that's that. And because I wanted to spend this year watching movies I wouldn't normally watch and talk about them, I'm hornswoggling Jesse Starcher into reviewing A Simple Favor and Another Simple Favor this Sunday as A Long Road to Ruin. Next week, we've got one of our Oscar bait movies that we're going to be looking at. It's One Battle After Another.
Tom Grossi was talking about that movie earlier tonight on his 900K stream.
I've heard nothing but good things about it. And then a week from tonight, we've got Upload Season 4, which is only like 4 episodes. That'll be myself and Alexis.
Sorry to interrupt. That's the Amazon. I'm learning things.
The Amazon show, yes.
The Amazon show about the guy who dies and then his memory is uploaded into the cloud and then he ends up falling for his programmer or his angel or whatever she is.
Yes. That's
okay. Okay.
And then a week from tomorrow, a show that was pitched by someone and then he couldn't make it to the show. Thank God I have backups. So we'll be doing a Michael Mann director focus. We'll be looking at Ferrari, Heat, and Collateral. Heat is almost 3 hours long. I have no idea when I'm going to have time to watch it. But I'm going to make my son watch it because he should watch all the good movies. And that, folks, is this episode of the IndySiders. Harry Broadhurst, show us where you pissed from.
Pardon?
For Harry Broadhurst, who refuses to show us where he pisses from, I have to finish watching the last hour of A Simple Favor. Be well, be safe, and behave.